seats hanging out back here because I was trying to fussing around in the Menards parking lot. Hey, what the hell you doing pulling out in front of me, buddy? That's okay. He'll go as slow as I am. It's not like I'm in a hurry. Okay, back at the shuttle bus. Working on, finally after many, many months of not working on, putting some flooring in. See? Just starting to put the subfloor in. Cutting it to length. Gotta put some shims to bring it up to the right height. It all begins again. Yay! Okay, it's a bright sunny day. First time feels like spring in a long time. There's the shuttle bus right there. It is time to try to put this, or take this, to put this on top of the first floor again. Have to take this, cut off all of these posts flush with this bar. Alright, tying boards. Now this should be interesting. I know I've said that before, but we gotta carry it all the way from over here. I doubt we're gonna drive the bus over from over there to over here. We'll probably carry this over there so we can weld over there, I would imagine. I've been wrong before though, so we'll just make sure we keep you in the loop as it goes. I asked you this last time, Patrick. Is this a good idea? Yeah, no, we're not doing that one.
Where the hell did they get that thing? Oh God. We're riding on 3%, Sean.
What?
Yeah. Well, it just keeps going up, man. That's impressive. It begins.
Alright, start to a new day. They're out doing chores. Hi. Hi, Daddy-o. And I'm gonna blow this thing off first. It really makes it feel like it's tall in there now, doesn't it? So, you've been part of the process for a while now. Has your opinion changed at all? What was the original opinion? See, why does everybody keep saying that? I don't know. I'll tell you what. Before yesterday, I probably would have. I don't know. Hey, I'll take potential. All right. Yeah, just don't move it, and you'll be fine for a little while. So I had to weld all that spacer to make the floor level where I needed it to be.
We are joined by a true legend before his time. Jackson the Builder. He has already completed more in the 5 minutes he joined me with than I did over the last 4 hours in the morning. But we have, at this point, one weld holding the entire bus on, right, Jackson?
Yeah.
That's all we got done?
It's not very well.
Well, thank you for the encouragement. Is that because I did the weld?
So, cut, you jam, and when the time comes, I'll put some caulking glue on the bottom, the top of this, push up to the wood, and along the edges. So that'll insulate the floor. And then I'm taking off the fuel lines, gonna redo the piping there, cut these shorter so I can get the angle different, and have that bad boy. And they're talking farming stuff. This is candid camera.
In another episode of Sean Gets Creative and tries to do it on the cheap. It's pretty cheap. Do you know those four-wheeler ramps that you get on? You use a ramp to get up to the back of a pickup. Like one of those things. So you pick up there, take the ramp to get your four-wheeler up there. Well, I bought 6 of those.
Take a look at this. So, when I lay them out, that'll be out the decking on top of the shuttle bus when the time comes with these ramps. And then I got one more extra one here when I cut these apart and lay them the other way on their side, and I run it across the top of all of these on this side. So this is another one of those farmerisms. I need to make up the gap so it fits perfectly from that way going this way. But then I have where 2 of these overlays are, these bad boys that used to go on the back of the truck bed when you're actually using these ramps properly. Well, what I did is, as you can see, I grinded the little rivets off. That one I just got started. And I already pulled this one out after I did those rivets. And since they were both in this direction, the overlay had the angle wrong. It made the thing prop up, so I just flipping it upside down. So now when they come together, they go like so. wherever I want to set it, which actually I can kind of judge based off of making that end flush. And then I'll take off that plastic pieces right there, and I'll bolt those two together, and this is so much thicker than the rest of this, that's strong enough to be the difference between holding this side to this side rigid as the gap that I need across this. And then I gotta bolt all those together across here. Now I got these guys taking off those things for later. They can be used to support some of the deck and all kinds of stuff.
So, Jackson, what did we end up getting done now, Mr. Builder? You look up, you see that? That is a deck that we don't have attached yet, but it's up there. We got it done with Taryn, Jackson, and I. It's sitting on top of the damn bus. Holy shit, was that a project or what? And when you're up there, fudge, it's high. Like, I'm nervous yet getting down from that. I need to have a railing around that sucker when you're up there. Wow. But it's cool, and there's the tank that'll be hanging off the back over here. I guess I tried to explain this the one day. But this, the rim, upper rim of it right there, that top rim, will be flush with where the deck goes, up there. So when you're sitting on the top of the deck up there, your feet are going to be in this tank, and there's going to be a box built around to hold that sucker where it goes. If I decide I still want to do that, I get up there and it's like, holy God, who's ever going to want to actually be in that? So maybe that won't go up there. That's just a long ways up there, man. Add something else. Okay, so I cut these plates off of, they actually were the supports underneath the seats. This bar went across underneath each one of my sets of seats. I cut off the plate side and left myself some holes to screw to, or to bolt through. And I'm probably going to use these to make some kind of a small cross member. But, carry these up the ladder, I'm already up here. Oh my God, it's so high. I have one ladder, two ladders off of my little deck to get up here. So these bad boys are going to be bolted through the roof in two spots underneath. First I'll drill the holes through the roof right here, then after I've marked where my holes are going to be, I come back inside, and then I'll put a cross member that'll go from one side to the other side to my cross members right here and weld it in. So I have my plate that supports these bad boys up here underneath each one where it's relevant. And then I brought them in. I decided to go on this side of the seam because every time this pushes down here, at least it's pushing the seam together. Whereas if I have it on this other side, if it's bouncing around at all or has any give, I'm afraid this is gonna stay where it's at, and then this is gonna get pushed down, and then it's gonna make a gap over time, whereas this pushes on both of them. So I'm thinking that might be the way to go, though. Like I said, if I put my welded member on the bottom, on this side, and pinch it, should keep the seam, in theory, in my book, solid and together right there in a couple different spots across here, because all that was really holding that in the past was that glue, and then the glue that's underneath this whole entire aluminum piece. And since I've got pressure, I've decided to leave the pressure going down in the middle of the roof here after I lay I'll lay a rubber mat down the middle of this underneath the decking so that it has a little bit of squish to and doesn't wear through the decking itself too quickly over time. I don't think it will. And I'll need to have it maybe be 10 inches or so right down the middle, or a foot, 2 foot, I don't know. I mean, I can overlay it. It's all going to be covered up anyway. Do that in the middle, have those along the edges, and then my next statement or thought is to, when these are underneath there, I'm going to have a cross member that'll go this way, that's bolted to the front of this, underneath the deck, just between this member to this member, getting a support from here to here and doing that each one, because that hits every one of the seams that go between these decking, or these different ramps all the way across. So then that's extra solid also. So I'll cut these all off when the time comes. I just didn't want to mess with it right now. I'll mark them all when I get them all screwed and put in the right spot where they go, and then cut them after they're already pre-drilled in. Also after I get that rubber piece in the middle put in so it can be on as close as possible. And then decide how, if or how I want to put in some kind of a little pop-up railing system on top to here on the edge, or if I want to even mess with that, because I'm pretty high already. I'm at like 11.8 to the top of the deck when it's finished here. And I should be just fine for most places I go, but you really got to be careful if I ever try to go into a residential area. But yeah, this is going to be a heck of a deck, and considering I'm reusing a lot of stuff from inside the bus itself for a lot of these things, and obviously got to repaint these so that they're coated good and never have rust issues. And then I've got to get the deck platform off of here once I get everything prepped and holes drilled, all those different things marked up, so that I can basically come back up here before I put this deck back down. I'll have to clean this, I don't know if I need to sand it at all per se, but really scrub it down clean. Put some of that 4-inch or 6-inch tape over the seams on both sides to make sure that those don't leak, because they obviously leaked in the past. And then I'm going to go over everything with that silicone, I think it's silicone paint, whatever that special roof paint I got. know, I'm very blessed to have a place to go and work on the shuttle bus, or drive to and use my folks' farm place, but the 2.5-hour drive one way back and forth when I want to work on it on the weekends is a little bit much. So once I get to a point where well, my welding is done, my windows are all done, and my painting are all done, and my deck's all attached, and the flooring's all in, and the electrical for the lights are all back on, it'll probably almost be legal at that point to drive home. So maybe another 2 months of, 2-3 months worth of weekends, and I'll be at that point where I can take it on a little adventure to get. Oh, I forgot about the oil leaks underneath that are still leaking because of the dipstick, where the dipstick goes into the oil pan underneath. The little pewter screw that holds that dang thing in place is broken too, so that needs fixed somehow without having to hopefully take the oil pan off, which would mean taking the entire motor out of the bottom of it because it's impossible to get to, and to get the pan off without doing that. So a lot of little things need fixed, but after all of that, we can take this dang thing home, and I can actually use or work on it during the week, not just weekends. And, it's with COVID and all the other different things, my wife and my son, they don't get to come along on a lot of these trips, so I go up there for a day and a half or so, turn around and try to get home so I have a little bit of a Sunday with everybody, and then it's back to work Monday through Friday. So this whole ordeal has not been really that fun, but it will be once we get to a point I can take it home and I can work on it with the family. Hopefully, like I said, I'm hopeful it's 2.5 months from now, that it's about midsummer. I should be able to start working on it from my house. So here's hoping, I guess. And if you can, please like, subscribe, share with all of your friends so that I have lots of viewers that can tell me what I'm doing wrong and how to fix what I'm doing.